to Candid Conversations with Kathy. My name is Kathy McSherry, and I'm so excited to dive into today's conversation. I'm Kathy McSherry. I live in Mission Valley, Civita, and I'm a real estate agent with Compass. I've been in real estate for over 20 years, licensed in both the state of Nevada and California. And I have 14 years of new home construction background that I worked for various builders in both states. So it gave me a background in understanding the construction of a home from the beginning to the end, the whole process of picking out your design options, customizing it, and everything that goes along with buying a home from the very beginning to closing the home at the end and being part of a community. You know, I graduated many years ago in New York City from Fashion Institute of Technology, which is a great school. And I wanted to get into that business. And when you follow the path of a buyer, you have to have hours of retail. And then you can go work for a manufacturer. But I just worked for a company that I had a horrible boss. He was not too much older than me. Seriously think he was doing lots of white powder that was around Manhattan in the 80s. And he just was, he went from happy to miserable in the course of a day, maybe 2 or 3 times. Like, I really didn't know who I was talking to. And I ended up getting fired. When they say blessings in disguise, it was a blessing in disguise. So I fell back on my secretary skills. And I worked for Estee Lauder Corporation for many years, and then in the Clinique division. And then I was a makeup artist. And then I came out here in, 1988, doing makeup artistry. And when I split with my daughter's father years later, almost 10 years later, I went because a friend of mine was working in Las Vegas telling me she's making $1,000 a week in tips. And at that time, that was a lot of money. So I went to Vegas to pursue just starting over and getting away from bad times, when people have to rely on themselves and split. Those are hard for anybody, any woman, any single mother, which I was. And that's where I started. Somebody said something to me about real estate, and I just had this gut intuition like I needed to get my license. And I did. I was a cocktail waitress in Las Vegas years ago. And I got my license, and I sat on it for a while, maybe 2 years. And a friend of mine said, you don't want to be an 80-year-old cocktail waitress, at Caesars in your flats with your hair up in your head. And I had this picture of Granny in high heels in a tight cocktail waitress Vegas uniform. And I thought, oh, you're absolutely right. This was just the grind. It'll get to me. I cashed in on my real estate license, and it became a career that enabled me to meet a lot of people, find out about people, and it's something that I love to do. I mean, I'm social anyway, and some people think I was born with a microphone in the bassinet because I could talk to just about anybody, and I really enjoy giving a homeowner their keys and walking them through the process and finding homes. I mean, model homes were a great foundation for me because I went to fashion school, and anything that has to do with design and fashion, I'm really geared towards. And you have the top designers that work for these builders that design the model homes. So I was always fascinated with how the home looked. And then once I understood how it was built and the value of owning a home, it just kind of fell right in place. When real estate in the early 2000s, people were standing in line to get homes. Basically, I worked for D.R. Horton at the time in Las Vegas, and they would come out with a community of, say, 100 homes. They'd have a release of 10, and they'd come out with the price, and people would camp overnight and sleep, and then they would sell the first 10 homes off of paper, mind you. Nothing was built, off of dirt. And they would go, and they'd go into the room, and they'd raise the price $20,000 and $30,000 per home. And then they'd weed through the line. So it was really, I could sell the home because I had to be trained to sell the home, but it was really order taking. And people were that was a crazy time. So that's how I started in that in that time frame with that builder, and here I am today. Hey, sorry to interrupt our conversation. I just want to take a minute in case anybody has any real estate questions or concerns. Please reach out to me at Kathy@KathyMcSherry.com or my website, KathyMcSherry.com. I'd be happy to help. Now, let's get back to our conversation. So now my daughter is now 9, I think, or 10, and it was... I had a real estate partner that I really couldn't stand, if you want to know the truth. She bugged me, and she said, "You're going to be really upset if you're not there for your daughter's graduation, your daughter's this, your daughter that." And I had like scrunchy face, like, what? It's like, I just looked at her like, that was it. But she planted that seed in my head, and I went home thinking about it, and I quit my job and I sold my house and I moved in less than 30 days. But I did everything pretty much within a week. I just said, she's right. Because my daughter was coming to visit me, and she was talking more and more about what was going on in San Diego and her friends. And I knew she was not going to want to pull away from her friends. So I made the move and I started over from scratch. So that was a tough one. And hopefully my daughter's listening to this so that she will see the sacrifices I made. But that's how I got back here. I worked for Shea Homes for a while, and they were the first builder, the guest builder they called them, to be in Civita with their product. And that was a great foundation, and I had great training, and then I purchased there. So I had that foundation of everything that I was taught from the builder. And then I lived there, and I knew all my neighbors. I had sold to over 250 people. So it was a shoo-in when I crossed over to resale that I would farm here and I would focus on here, as well as I'm a member of the Mission Valley Planning Group, a board member. So I see developers and businesses, anything from cannabis to the San Diego State Stadium has to be presented in front of the board for suggestions that go to the city planning. So everything, I feel like if there was a mayor of Civita, I could certainly put my name in the hat, because I've been here from the beginning. I have a vested interest in the community and my neighbors, and everything that comes to Mission Valley is of interest to me. So that's how I started at Civita. Civita is great. It's 230 acres of a master plan community. I want to say 900,000 square feet of commercial is still coming, planning and in the works. It's mod. We were the first ones with some of these designs. The architect is Woodley Architects, and he has some fabulous floor plans. So you've got these lofts, these 3-story or 4-story open lofts that remind you of something out of New York City, especially the way they had the models designed and decorated. Brick walls and open rail staircase systems and mod lighting and things like that. All the latest features, most of them are smart homes, like that was all coming in new. So you've got modern living, brand new construction, a new master plan community, all in the center of San Diego. I mean, you wouldn't even find it anywhere else. That land was privately owned by the Grant family for many years, and they partnered with Sudbury Properties to be the master developer to come up with Civita. In fact, in one of my future podcasts, I'm hopefully going to interview somebody from Sudbury Properties. I think I can find an interview from the Grant family discussing the history that they had. Brings a richness. I mean, it's definitely fibers into the fabric of Mission Valley. I mean, it's got such a history that it's anybody that likes history would find their story fascinating. And they're a great family with a history that has partnered with a really great builder. I mean, Sudbury Properties is first class. So everything that's done there is new and mod and clean, and it's got such a mix of people that this is the first time I think, and I've lived in many places, that I've really felt part of a community, so to speak. And it's still growing. Since I've been here since the beginning, and I live here, I know a lot about it. So it's easier for me to sell a property. It's easier for me to negotiate on a property, represent buyers. I mean, I can walk into Origin, which had 9 floor plans, and tell you right away which one it was and which features it has that are different from any of the other floor plans. Having had that training by the builder is great. So I use all of that background when I'm negotiating a sale. You know, I can walk in and spot that rail system was probably $10,000. You know, that lighting was at least, I know that they gave you 6 recess cans, but I see you've added 3 kitchen pendant lights, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Being able to evaluate or give a valuation to a home is key when you're pricing and also when you're negotiating for the right price on either end of the transaction. So I think I bring that to Civita Mission Valley. And then, like I said, I live here, so I'm probably your biggest or one of their biggest fans because I enjoy it. I don't plan on moving anywhere. The floor plan in the home that I have for myself is perfect for me. It's a 2-bedroom with an office. My daughter's grown and out of the house, so I don't really need more space. And the people that I find moving in Civita, they still want to stay in Civita. If they have 1 baby or 2 babies, then they want to move up to Apex, single family detached, or Promontory or Avella, somewhere where there's more square footage. But they don't want to leave, especially if they have little ones with a new elementary school that opened. There's a lot of pet lovers, and we have our own dog park, and now we have our own vet. So it kind of has everything, and it's so centrally located. Where can you be where you're so close to the 805, the 5, the 8, the 15, the 163? You know, every artery, every traffic vein is right here in Mission Valley. So you're able to, even though we have a lot of traffic, you're able to get to and fro with a lot of ease. 10 minutes to the beach, 10 minutes to the airport. So for its location, it's great. It works. If you are looking to start your search or your home relocation in Civita or in Origin within Civita, I would advise you not to wait. I think my favorite real estate phrase of all times is, when's the best time to buy real estate? And then the answer is today. And people look at you like, if they're not buying today. And you say, when's the second best time to buy real estate? And then I say, yesterday. And it's just, you know, a little catchphrase that reminds people not to wait. I mean, I think the more you hedge when trying to buy real estate, the more time there is to lose being in the market with all the advantages of owning property, from taxes, refunds, and write-offs, all that good stuff, and equity. EQUITY, equity. Let's not forget that one. And so I enjoy people, so I would love to be able to help anybody, whether they want to buy, if they want to sell. They can just go to my website or text me or email me. I'll answer any questions. I've helped many people that have had their own real estate agents because they don't understand Civita the way I do. And there's a lot of information from HOAs to what's coming to tax rate and Melrose, anything like that. So I encourage anybody just to reach out if you have a question. Call me, text me, have your agent do it or you do it, and I'd be happy to help. Thank you for tuning in to Candid Conversations with Kathy, and I so look forward to speaking to all of you next week. Thanks again. Have a great day.